Hi, teacher. So today I'm gonna talk about the backrooms. The backrooms are a surreal internet legend that has captured the imagination of millions of people online. But what exactly are the backrooms? Well, imagine you're walking through your office or store or maybe a hallway and you just take the wrong turn or maybe you fall through the floor and suddenly you're not where you were. You've glitched out of reality. Everything is yellow, the walls are covered in outdated wallpaper, and the buzzing of fluorescent lights is the only sound you hear. The air smells like damp carpet and mold, and worst of all, you're completely alone. That's the core idea of the backrooms, a liminal space that feels eerily familiar yet completely wrong. This concept originated from a creepy image posted on an online forum in 2019, showed a blonde yellow empty room with stained carpet and fluorescent lighting. But what really made it go viral was the caption. If you're not careful and clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the backrooms. That simple idea sparked a huge collaborative horror universe. Since then, people from all over the world have contributed to building these myths, adding hundreds of levels, creatures, and rules to survive. Let's start with levels, because backrooms are not just one place, they're more like a vast network of alternate dimensions. The most well known is Level 0, also called the lobby. This is where most wanderers arrive after falling into the backrooms. It's an endless maze of yellow wallpapered rooms, buzzing lights, and a deeply unsettling silence. At first glance, it seems empty, but the problem is it's not. You can easily become disoriented and wander for days without finding an exit, or even finding the same hallway twice. From there, you might move to level 1, which looks like a massive industrial warehouse. The lights here are dimmer, you can hear clanking sounds in the distance, and puddles form on the ground. This level introduces more very obvious dangers, electrical hazards, flickering lights, and entities. Level 2 is where things really get intense. It consists of endless maintenance tunnels and boiler rooms. The temperature is scorching, the walls seem to close in, and worst of all, this level is home to aggressive entities that will chase and attack without hesitation. Level 3 is filled with narrow hallways and electrical wiring. It's confusing and claustrophobic. Some say it's a hub for the most dangerous entities, like skin stealers, creatures that wear human skin like a disguise. But not every level is instantly deadly. For example, there's Level 4, that resembles a quiet abandoned office. It has running water and working power, which makes it a common resting place for survivors. Then there's Level 11, a strange but semi-civilized level that looks like a distorted version of a modern city. It has roads, buildings, and even working vending machines. But let's talk about the real stars, or maybe nightmares, the entities. These are creatures that roam the levels. They're unpredictable, dangerous, and often terrifying. Some of the most infamous include the hunts, that are animal-like monsters with humanoid features. They're fast, aggressive, and extremely dangerous. Facelings, that are human-like figures with no facial features. Some are passive, others aren't. They tend to follow people silently. Skin stealers. These are perhaps the most terrifying. They mimic humans by wearing the skin of their victims and pretending to be them. Smilers. Seen only in the dark, they are identified by glowing eyes and a sharp grin. If you see one, don't move. But not all entities are hostile. Some are considered neutral, like the dullers, that are strange humanoid creatures that generally avoid conflict unless provoked. There are even reports of traders, mysterious beings that offer goods in exchange of valuable items. But trusting anything in the backrooms is a gamble. So, let's talk about survival. If you ever find yourself in the backrooms, you'd better know about almond water. It's one of the most important items you can find. Almond water is a sweet-smelling, milky liquid that appears in bottles scattered throughout various levels. It's said to rehydrate the body, calm anxiety, heal minor injuries, and even protect against certain entity effects. Some survivors claim it has mild reality stabilizing effects, making you less likely to glitch deeper into unknown levels. Other important items include flashlights, because some levels are completely dark, radios to communicate with other survivors or pick up mysterious signals, level keys that are rare objects that unlock access to specific levels or allow you to skip dangerous ones, and entity repellents. These are experimental items created by survivor communities. They may repel creatures in certain areas. Speaking of survivors, there are organized groups in the backrooms. The most famous one is the MAG, or Major Explorer Group. They explore levels, document entities, share maps, and help lost wanderers. So, what makes the backrooms so terrifying? It's not just the monsters or the strange architecture or the idea of being stuck forever. It's the feeling, the psychological horror of being utterly alone, of existing in a place that was never meant to be seen. A place that mimics reality but always gets it just slightly wrong, like a dream that slowly turns into a nightmare. Now, before I go deeper into the entities and survival, I want to share something a little more personal. While many levels of the backrooms are dangerous, dark, and disturbing, some are strangely peaceful, or even comforting in a weird way. And personally, some of my favorite levels fall into that category, especially the ones that tap into the nostalgic aesthetic of the 2000s. And that aesthetic has a name, Weirdcore. Weirdcore is an aesthetic based on low quality images, surreal settings, distorted text, and feelings of nostalgia mixed with discomfort. It often features places that seem familiar, like empty malls, children's bedrooms, old school computer screens, but something always feels off. The lighting is wrong, the colors are washed out, the message on the screen doesn't make sense, and yet it feels like you've been there before. That's exactly what the backroom captures, from yellow wallpapered rooms to glitching daycare halls and liminal dream malls. The backrooms is basically weirdcore in motion. It pulls you into these strange dreamlike places that remind you of your past, but only the pieces your brain half remembers from childhood, favorite dreams, or forgotten cartoons. Weirdcore in the backrooms isn't just a style, it's a psychological weapon. It doesn't scare you with blood or jump scares. It unnerves you by putting you somewhere that looks familiar, but wrong. It's that feeling of deja vu, the sense that you've been here before, but maybe in a dream, or maybe in a nightmare. So when you walk through level 974 or Daycare Dreams, or even the Hello Kitty room, you're not just exploring a digital myth. You're walking through your unconscious, through a maze of feelings you didn't know you remembered. That's Weirdcore in the backrooms, and that's what makes it beautiful and terrifying at the same time. The backrooms play on a concept called liminal space. Those in-between places like hotel corridors, empty schools at night, or bus terminals at 3 a.m. These spaces are familiar, but they feel wrong without people in them. They make us feel like we've stepped outside of time, and maybe that's what makes the backroom so effective. They're not just a horror setting, they're a reflection of something deeper, our fear of isolation, disconnection, and losing touch with the world we know. So, if you ever find yourself walking down a hallway that seems a little too long, if the lights above you buzz just a bit too loudly, or if the wallpaper suddenly looks too yellow, maybe, just maybe, check your surroundings, because you might be one wrong step away from the backrooms. Thank you for listening to me.